Now available in e-readers everywhere. Why 70% of black women are single. Learn the real reasons why 70% of black women are single in this ebook, which breaks down all the reasons why black women just can't get a man. Why 70% of black women are single is now available in e-readers everywhere. When I think about this YouTube hit list established by the cabal of fascist black women, I know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for black male YouTubers. Unfortunately, many black male YouTubers just don't have the character or resolve to keep fighting until they win the war. Now, this is a war that I won many years ago when I was working on my Shawn James Black Freelance Writer blog, and I was writing blogs that were critical of black women. When I first started writing these blogs around 2010, 2011, I had many black women coming to my page looking to use shaming tactics to silence me, and then other types of tactics to try to censor me in my efforts to not produce that content. And I did not let those detractors hinder me in my efforts to present constructive criticism of black women. And many of those blogs that were presented of black women have gone on to become classics, such as Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Now, when I wrote that blog a couple of years ago, I even had members of my own family getting upset at me for quote unquote bashing black women and listing all the reasons why 70% of black women are single. And in other blogs that I did that were constructively critical of black women, such as Why Black Women Will Be Single for the Rest of Their Lives, I also had many people coming to the comment section looking to shame me. And I also had black women getting upset, and even white women getting upset, at a classic blog I did called Why Real Men Avoid Single Mothers. Now, this is a blog that went viral from so many people getting upset over it. And people got so upset about this blog that they would actually go out and share it with each other. And in some cases of these single mothers, they were making threats to me saying that, you're ugly, you're horrible, you're a misogynist. And some of them even made statements such as, I should die in a fire or I need to be killed. And on some other blogs I did that were critical of black women, I had some black women getting so emotional, they were getting to the point where they were saying things like, this blog should be banned, all because I presented an opinion they did not like and was critical of them. And because I was constructively critical of them, they could not stand reading what they were reading. And I've also done blogs about swirling and talking about, if sisters want to date a white man, they need to count the cost. And I dealt with detractors on that one when I not only shared it on my blog, but on other sites like blackbloggersconnect.com where I presented it. They would get defensive and angry. But I hung in there. And because I hung in there, these women saw that they could not shake me, they could not get me scared enough to run away from the platform. And I stood my ground. I was able to beat them back and pretty much continue to maintain my Shawn James Black Freelance Writer website. And in a couple of cases, I ran into people who actually were grateful for that advice, not only just black men, but black women. And some of them even donated when they read those blogs because they said the information was so helpful to them and helpful to their lives. And this is what many black male YouTubers need to understand. You have to hang in there. You have to keep fighting because, yes, these black women are angry. Yes, these black women are upset. And they're upset because you're pretty much telling the truth about them and telling the truth about their behavior, and they don't like hearing the truth coming from a black man about their dysfunctional, irresponsible, reckless, and egregious behavior, and they don't like being held accountable for their irresponsible, reckless, and egregious behavior by responsible black men. They don't like that. And the whole thing is, responsible, conscientious black men have to hang in there. They have to have the character, they have to have the resolve, they have to have the courage to keep standing on their ground, because the only way to make these females understand that they are wrong is to stand your ground. And the only way to continue to have a platform is to continue to stand on your ground. Now, over time, I left those blogs up there, and again, they went on to become classics. And some black women even went out of their way to donate money to the Shawn James Black Freelance Writer blog because they said the information helped them. So it had an impact long term on lots of people. Just that I had the courage to continue producing my content and continue making that content in the face of all of these critics and all of these trolls. And even these days, I had one guy or a woman who was still so upset that they would literally try to flood my comment section with a bunch of gibberish because they were upset over something that happened years ago, and they're mad, and they try to mock me by saying that they're a producer of some sort of Netflix show and they want to produce an ISIS television show, and they do this because they have such vitriolic hatred of the content I produce. But I still go out and produce it because I understand that I have, as an American citizen, this is my right to free speech. This is my right to freedom of expression. And that if you have the courage and you hang in there, you can beat back this group of fascists by just continuing to produce your content on the regular and produce that content that is true to you and tells the truth out here. Now, on my blog these days, I have switched to more of a comic book content because I took my men's issues content and I brought it to YouTube so it could get a larger audience. Because as I saw it, the blogs were strong, but I could get the larger audience by doing the men's issue stuff here on YouTube. And it's starting to have and reach people and have that lasting impact because more people will watch a video than read a blog. And so I was able to switch and move over to content to comics, but the comics blogs actually still do as strong as the men's issue stuff. Now, when I do a men's issues content now on YouTube, it's for the same reasons. You're going to run into the same detractors no matter where you go, but you have to hang in there. And if you believe in your message, that message is going to resonate with more people, and those people are going to stay with you, and they're going to be with you, and they're going to help you beat back these fascists who want to silence you, because the reason why they want to silence you is, one, because they want to control the narrative over the black community, and two, they pretty much don't want anyone telling the truth about their behavior, because only a hit dog is going to holler whenever you present points that talk about things related to them. If it doesn't relate to someone, they're not going to get upset about it. And that's something I saw when I was blogging back in 2011, 2012, and 2013, was the only people getting upset about those blogs that talked about single mothers, talked about black women, and were critical of them, were the people who participated in these behaviors on the regular. All I can say to all those black men on that YouTube hit list is that you have to keep fighting, you have to keep persevering, and you have to stay true to your message, because if people are getting upset, it's because you're making them think, and they hate thinking about their irresponsible, reckless, egregious behaviors, and they hate the fact that someone is calling them out and making them accountable for those behaviors by presenting content that shows those behaviors and why they are wrong. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.